I was having a drink with a good friend from college the other day, and she said, "Stacy, you should buy a franchise."
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Franchise Feedback. My name is Terry Coker. I'm a franchise consultant. I'm here with my colleague and friend, Ray Fanning, who is also a franchise consultant.
Hello, everyone.
Ray, what's a franchise consultant? We get that question all the time.
Terry, a franchise consultant normally is a small business owner who helps other people who are considering business ownership to identify and evaluate their business ownership options. And in our case, it's using the informed decision process.
Yeah, simply said, we're small business owners who help other people become small business owners. And we talk about our experience with that. And the way that we do it is we take questions from our viewers, and we lovingly call that our mailbag, a throwback to yesteryear when letters would come in with questions. Today it's in our inbox. Okay, let's be frank about that. It's not in the mailbag, but we still like it. So Ray, what's in the mailbag this week?
Terry, in the mailbag this week, we have a question from Stacy. And Stacy, thank you for your question. Stacy's question is, I was having a drink with a good friend from college the other day, and she said, "Stacy, you should buy a franchise."
Oh,
and her question is, Terry, why are people drawn to franchising?
so Stacy's having a drink with a friend. Friend says you should buy a franchise. Well, why are people drawn to franchising? Stacy, that's a good question.
Good question.
Off top of my head, as I think back over the past 12 months or so, there are some themes that come up. The first one that comes up for me is control. People want control. They want control of their work environment. Okay. People don't have enough say in the business decisions that go on. A lot of that comes from a micromanaging boss. I hear that all the time. And people don't mind being responsible for their outcomes as long as they can participate in the decision. So they want some control around that. That's the first thing that comes to mind. What about you? What's the first thought that comes to mind for you, Ray, when Stacy asks the question, why are people drawn to franchising?
The first thing that came to my mind, Stacy, was economic need.
Oh yeah,
often,
that's a good one.
Thank you. Often people will start looking at a franchise because they need it. They've been laid off. They, for no fault of their own, good people sometimes can't stay at their current or their former position, and they're looking for something to replace it. So it gets harder. I hate to say it, Stacy, it gets a little bit harder the older you get to get a position that makes as much or even close to what you've been doing, or even for you to be maybe as fulfilled as you were. So many of those people come, and they come because of economic need.
Yeah, if you lose a good job, it's hard to replace one with a comparable level of income. That's not easy.
No, it's not. What else comes to mind, Terry?
Lifestyle issues, that's always in the forefront. I hear it all the time. Job-related stress, unreasonable travel, the number of hours that people work. When I ask people, how many hours a week do you work on your job? Okay. Seldom do I hear 40, 50 to 60 is a normal hour. And this week, twice, I've heard 70 and 80 hours. And if you're working a 70 or 80 hour week, you don't have time for your family, right? And that's the other part of that theme that I hear. People want more time with their family. Yeah, that comes up a lot. Do you have another one, Ray?
I do. Before we go on, it probably doesn't even include the amount of time they're traveling.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
those hours
include that. Yeah,
those hours are tough. I'll tell you, I did think of something else. One thing I hear an awful lot nowadays, and it's probably a combination of a little of everything we talked about, but it's about wealth creation and securing your retirement. People are drawn to franchising because they're looking to make more money, to have additional income streams. Maybe they have another business right now. Maybe they have another job right now, but they want more and they want control. They have skills, and not just for themselves, not just for their retirement. Some of these people are also thinking about, what am I going to leave for my family? What am I going to leave for my loved ones? And I think wealth creation comes way, way up there and why people are so drawn to franchising.
Yeah, when you start a business and develop it and build it, over time you have an asset that you can sell, and you can't sell a job. It's just that simple. That's one of the big differentiations between business owners and employees, having an asset that you can sell. Stacy, that's a great question. Thank you for sending that in. If you have a question that you'd like us to answer, really simple, go down below, comment box, schedule a question and answer call with us, or put a question in there, and you might be featured on the next episode of Franchise Feedback when we dip our hands into the mailbag.